What is going on, you guys? Welcome to Race Hail Praise Dale Paint Scheme Commentary video. Braden, you're in trouble. You haven't given us a title yet, even though we didn't tell you to.
Right.
Are you ready for this, Voodoo?
I am ready. Are you ready, Deli?
I am. After some minor technical difficulties, I mean, if you see a little glitching, sorry about you. It's a lot better than what we were just dealing with. So
yeah, we still on the lower end of this. So without further ado, we're gonna hit that intro and get right into this Joker.
All right.
Swing.
This weekend cup schedule. You got your practice and qualifying on Saturday at 1:20 p.m. Eastern Time on USA and NBC Sports app, with the race starting at 6 p.m. on Sunday on USA.
Mm-hmm.
Going to Darlington for the Southern 500. I realize I didn't say that.
Well, it's kind of right there in their face. I mean, I guess if they're listening, they can't see it though. All right, your race lengths. Stage 1 and Stage 2 are both of 115 laps, and then Stage 3 is 137 laps, which gives you a total of 367 laps for the Cookout Southern 500. Indeed. All right, you ready to get into these schemes?
Let's hit it.
This first one's a brand new scheme we ain't seen yet, so.
Ooh.
Wing.
Oh, I'll let you go first.
I'm sorry to say it, but I'm gonna give this one a 5. This thing looks amazing.
You know, I really hate to do this, but I'm gonna keep it at a 5 because this car. Oh, you've got so if you guys are listening, I'm gonna try to describe this the best I can. So let's throw back a couple years to like late 90s, maybe early 90s. You open a 12-pack of Busch beer and you just see this blue can with some gold mountain accents. Got some white in there. It looks heavenly. Now slap that on a car, put a number 1 on it, and call it Ross Chastain, because this boy is going with it. It looks so good. The Busch Beer Classic is top tier. Always going to be a 5-star, no matter who's driving.
Yeah, I would say almost as gorgeous as this car is, I would like to see it more often.
That if this became his normal scheme, I would not be upset at all. Of course, you got, the red foil 1, which I don't know if I said that, which kind of accents the red line that's in the old school Busch Beer logo. It just, that with the line just stands out so much. It makes me think of like old school schemes. Of course, it's a classic can, but it just, I don't know. I like this scheme a lot. It's definitely worth 5 stars.
Absolutely.
Next. On to this disappointment that we see week in and week out. We've got our black and white and red discount tire. If you guys are listening, I guarantee you can see this car in your head because it's all he ever drives, Austin Cindric. And so for that, I think it deserves a 2 lug.
I 100% agree with the 2 lugs, and enough said. Moving on. There we go. Now we got a new one. Got your. We technically did talk about this in one of our episodes past many moons ago.
We did. It was like 5 or 6 weeks ago. So
yeah, but it's Austin Dillon's Toys for Tots scheme. Got the little Toys for Tots logo with the train on a, what is that, royal blue background with some stars and a little Marine Corps teddy bear on the back wheel well there, and then white across the top. They could have done better, but I'm not disappointed in it.
No.
I'm gonna give it 4 stars, 4 lugs. I'm trying to be like you and call them stars.
I've been pretty good, okay? The last 2 episodes, I've been pretty good.
I mean, you're rubbing off on me, though.
I'm gonna agree with you on this one. It's not an amazing scheme. Like you said, it's majority of royal blue, got some stars thrown in there. I love the way that they did the Toys for Tots logo. It takes up most of the car. The little Marines and the dress blues bear it looks really good. But I feel like they could have done a little bit more.
They could
I'll,
have.
I'll give it a 4 lug just because I like, the Toys for Tots and I like patriotic schemes. So yeah, I'll give it a 4. That and it's a new scheme, so I'll take that.
Yeah, one we don't see every day.
Right.
Moving on up, the Josh Berry's Overstock.com scheme.
Again, one of those schemes that we just see quite a bit. I don't dislike it, but I am getting tired of seeing it. It's gonna get a 2 lug.
Is it bad that
I guess I could have
well, no, I'm gonna keep it at 2. But is it bad that I want to keep that 2 up there for the next scheme?
possibly. Let's see what the next one is. Wow, it's the Kyle Larson go-to scheme. You got the
Yeah.
Also, guys, if you haven't picked up, I'm trying to describe these schemes a little bit better in case you are just listening. Because I get life is busy, you want to just chill out, and we are technically a podcast. I'm going to try to start implementing more audio instead of just us BSing on the video side.
Kyle Larson's
Um,
forever scheme.
yeah, but I mean, you think of Kyle Larson, this is the scheme that comes to head or comes in your head. It's just his scheme. I mean, it's blue, red, and white. 2 lugs. Yeah, I'm keeping it.
Nah, moving to Brad Keselowski. He's actually got a
That
newish scheme this time around.
Whose turn is it? Is it mine or yours?
It is your turn, sir.
All right. So this scheme I do really like. If this is the one I'm thinking of, it is like I said before I rate it, I'm going to try to describe it. So it is majority white. It's got green accents. Of course, you got the RFK little swoosh at the bottom. I don't know how to describe that one. It's like 2 half rectangles with like one that ends in a line that goes over the other 2. You'll just have to look at it. I don't know how else to describe it. But what makes this well, before I jump to that, it's also got a copper colored foil number 6, which I do like. I'm not gonna lie. It's top tier, and then you got, your Solomon Plumbing logo. But that's not what makes this car super neat. Um it's got a lot of service members' names or veterans' names on this car, which has to step it up. Now, at the beginning of this series, I did say there was 3 things that would make me rate it higher. You got patriotic schemes. It had to be green. What was the other one?
Hadn't seen it on track before.
Yeah, there we go. New schemes. Which this one checks all 3, but it's not a 5-star scheme. I'm sorry, it's just not. So or 5-lug scheme.
You
Sorry,
did it.
I did it. You set me up for this one. But it is definitely a 4-lug, so I'm gonna go with 4.
I'll keep it at your 4. Normally I would rate this scheme because I mean technically it is the same Solomon Plumbing scheme as normal, but they have all of the veteran names kind of implemented in pretty much all over the doggone place. Get it all up in the white area. They got some in the green down at the bottom. I want to say there's some on the deck lid.
Service members, like people that are on active duty.
Yeah, it's
That's why I didn't want to say veterans. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But
Yeah, I'll keep it at the 4.
let's go to our next driver who has yet to win anything ever.
Except the worst driver in America. I mean, nope, he didn't even win that. Never mind.
Except a really trashy chili ski.
I actually kind of like it better than the Celsius scheme. But like you said, they could have changed it up. It almost looks like right at the start of that C on the side with the Chili's logo is where they kind of threw a wall up to stop that margarita whatever coloring to go towards the front of the car.
Margarita.
Yeah. I think it's called the Chili's Catcherita car. But yeah, it's got the Chili's logo right behind that red 7 with like some margarita liquid spread from there to the back of the car and a big old jalapeno pepper with the Chili's logo right above the back wheel. But then the rest of the car is white, so it's pretty plain. They could have done a whole lot more with this car. I'm gonna go with 2 lugs. And
You're being awfully generous because, in my opinion, I hate this car. This is one of the worst
but it's
cars I've
got
seen.
green on it.
Yeah, but like it looks like okay. Keeping PG, it looks like somebody let their infant ride out the window and their infant had severe diarrhea. That's all I can see. Like the glass that the margarita or quote unquote margarita is in is not even visible. You can barely see the blue rim.
I didn't
And then it
even
looks
notice the
like
blue rim until you just mentioned it.
exactly. And then it looks like whoever designed this scheme literally took an eraser that's a straight line and is like, this is where the 7's going.
Yeah.
I hate this scheme and I'm gonna drop it down to 1 lug because they could have done so much better. Like make margarita splash on the hood and make like droplets going back or something, not just it looks like somebody got sick out of the driver's seat the way that they got the flow going. It is
Maybe,
awful. I
maybe
hate
they
this.
had a few too many margaritas when they made that one.
Then they shouldn't be driving.
Maybe they didn't drive it. Maybe they just designed it.
Well,
Either
I
way,
hate
they
this
shouldn't be
scheme.
doing it, right?
Yeah, whoever did this scheme, they need talking to.
Yeah. Let's move on to Kyle Busch.
Oh, Rowdy is Morgan and Morgan. It's not the old man buffed up Clash Morgan and Morgan, but I do like this scheme. I've seen it before, so it's losing a little bit of points for that. I will describe it. It starts out black, fades to yellow with some black stripes, or I don't even know if you call those stripes, just kind of like scratches off past the Morgan and Morgan logo that takes up the majority of the car, which I understand is the main sponsor. You got your zone uh pan in the back, quarter panel. I mean, it's kind of plain, but it does what it's meant to do. The logo integrates super nice with it, like it did in the Clash. The number 8, of course, is just a normal white number 8. I would have loved to seen foil. Foil is definitely one of the ways to gain a little extra points. But I'm gonna give it a 3 lug.
And I'll agree with your 3. But in regards to your comment about the foil number, I just don't see RCR pulling off foil numbers. It seems like the only people that are really doing that is what, 2 or 3 teams, and it's kind of stuck to those 2 or 3.
Yeah.
RFK, Trackhouse.
You know what I think would be really cool? This is solely for the number 8. I'm not talking about all of RCR. I mean, it might look cool on the
A
3, but
win.
I'm not sure. Instead of doing to win and actually get to keep their playoff status, but neither here nor there. If they like, you see like the outline in the 8, like where it's like the very like it's kind of I don't know how to describe it, like the outer part
Talking about
where
the
it
yellow or
kind
the
of got
black?
like on the yellow. So like you see like the yellow line that's kind of got like a white in between the black outline.
Yeah.
I would make that like a foil. I
Yeah.
think that like to outline it and just make it their own. I think that would look kind of cool.
It
Like
probably would.
especially on this car have like a gold. Just saying.
Well, speaking of gold, let's go visit Chase Elliott. His Napa Gold
Wow.
Filters car.
Wow.
So it's his normal Napa scheme, except it's black this time around with gold accents on the lines.
At least that's not
Gold
even a
number
foil.
9.
Not even a foil 9.
No, it's regular gold.
Press.
Napa Gold Filters. Actually kind of like it. Maybe because I'm a little biased of when Legacy announced their deal and had a black and gold car.
That and you're a Saints fan. And,
Well, that too, yeah. Not quite all the way up there though. I think I'm gonna sit at a 3 lug for it.
That's where I was gonna put it. Yeah, to describe this car, it's majority black. It's as normal, you got your Napa logo in the middle, which of course is yellow and blue. You got your gold 9. You've got some accent lines that are gold running down from the front of the car down. It does do a good job at like shaping the car, I will say. Those lines do, but it's very kind of simplistic. I'll keep it at a 3 just because it's an average. I feel like, 3 lug is an average car. It's
Yep,
nice looking, it doesn't look terrible. I mean,
I'm down with that.
yep.
Noah Gregson.
Okay. Let's take a minute. We've seen this car before. It is majority blue. It's got like a banner with red outlined in white. Um, going from the front to the back of the car. He's got a red, white, and blue number 10. He's got some stars, the American flag, Winchester all the way down the side. I like this car solely because it is patriotic and it's Winchester because, America and guns. Uh,
America.
but we have seen this before. It's not my favorite scheme. I'm gonna have to give it a 3. I would own it, but 3 lug is as much as it's getting out of me.
That's where I was going to stick it. The problem with most of the patriotic schemes this season is they've all been pretty meh. Like, I
Yeah,
haven't really got too excited with most of them. There's
like
been one or two of them out there that have,
there
but
has been a couple that I was like, "Oh my gosh," that like I feel like at the end of the season we should just do like our top picks for the season.
yeah, we should definitely. That'd be one of our could be one of
Like
our
one,
off-season episodes.
yeah,
We're
and
gonna
then
need
like do
something to talk
one for
about.
this season and then one for like of all time. That would be a good one.
Yeah,
Some episode ideas coming out. But I agree with you. Like, there's been some schemes that I was like, okay, I love this scheme, and then there's some schemes like this one that I'm like, it's okay. I mean, I don't really want to shoot down a patriotic scheme. Um, and like I said, I'm in this podcast we don't try to get political at all.
yeah,
So, I mean, if you got opinions, please save those. Um,
yeah,
but at the same time, like the Reagan car was kinda cool, even though I would kinda consider it political because it's about a movie about a former president, you know what I mean?
yeah. But it
So,
wasn't really
it
just
wasn't
about
really
the president part of it. It was about
yeah, it was
his
more about the
entire
movie.
life.
I understand, but, I mean, that one, it was just kinda cool to see. I mean, this one makes me think of, like, old school, like, July 4th, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It just it's an car. It belongs in a 3. It's not terrible.
Now, moving on to a
Number
somewhat of a
Cowboy.
throwback. What's a
Oh, what?
throwback?
Sorry, I tripped you
Throwback.
up. It's a little different.
So you know what this 11 on the side is here with the wing?
What?
That is to honor Mr. Roy Hendrick. That's what he ran on his car
Oh,
back in the
really?
day. Yeah.
I did not know that.
They're honoring the Hendrick family this weekend. With that there, that's pretty cool.
Man, they're
Outside
points
of
now.
that, it's basically the same Sports Clips haircut car though.
Yeah, they do have that like black to red transition a little bit more in the car though, because before I think it was just black and red
Yeah.
lines that were separated. This time it kind of like fades in and out. I like the look of it.
I was gonna give it 2 lugs, but because they're honoring the Hendrick family this weekend, I'm gonna bump it up to a 3.
I'm gonna disagree. I'm gonna bump it up to a 4 and like just hear me out. Okay. This is the first time that I've ever seen accents be 2 different colors, but in the same accent, and it goes well with the Sports Clips logo, and I love the fact that they're honoring somebody from a different team. Like, I understand the Hendrick Motor Club, jeez. Hendrick Motorsports is a huge, like, NASCAR name, but for another, like, team like Joe Gibbs, who is also a huge NASCAR name, And not only that, but a team owner that drives for Joe Gibbs.
But also owns a
honoring,
different team.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's a different team owner because he. If you guys don't know, if you're new to the sport or whatever, he owns 2311 or 23XI. It's the same team. You'll hear it two different ways.
2311. Dang it.
It's whatever. However you prefer to say it. Uh, I think it's so cool for all these teams, which I understand it's a majority of Joe Gibbs, but
I'm no dying in the middle of an episode now.
oh, I had an itch in my throat. That was weird, or a tickle, not whatever it is.
Tickle,
I
tickle,
just think
tickle.
it's so cool for them to incorporate that in this weekend. That I think it matches the aesthetic of the car very well. Uh, so that's why I chose Four Lugs.
All right. Go ahead and move on to a brand new scheme for Ryan Blaney. Just kidding.
Wow, this is literally, for those of you listening, it's the black and yellow Menard scheme.
Yep.
You've seen it a million times.
2 lugs.
Penske needs to change their schemes. I will say this every week. Penske needs to change their schemes. 2 lugs.
Yeah, 2 it is. Moving on up to Chase Briscoe. Look at that change up to that highpoint.com car. Yeah. Highpoint.com car is usually mostly blue with some white on it. Well, they changed all of the blue on it to black. And it's got kind of like
a circuit board.
Yeah, there you go. Like a circuit board pattern in the black only, not on the white parts.
It looks really
I actually like it, and it kind of gears towards my IT nerd side. But what you gonna give it?
Was it my turn?
Yeah, I technically rated the last one first.
Oh, that's fine. Go ahead. You go first. We'll just jump back in.
I'm gonna give it 4.
I'm gonna agree with you because it is scratching that itch in my brain. That's like, oh, it looks so nice. It looks futuristic. It gives me that old school. What game is that? Oh no, my nerd is kicking my own butt.
Short circuit.
Maybe. No, it's not even a game. Like old school Teen Titans Cyborg, but instead of black, it was blue. You know what I mean? Where it showed like the. I don't know. That's the kind of that. It was the nostalgia that hit. I can't explain it. I really do like the scheme. I can't tell if the circuitry is in the High Point logo, but if it is, they get bonus points for that one.
I don't believe it is. I think that's just like the light reflection that's in there.
Yeah, I couldn't tell. I think that would be really cool if they implemented that one. But
yeah, that would have been nice. Moving on to one of our rookies getting back on track this week, Kaz Gralla.
Ooh, the meat and bone car. So for the listeners, it's got a meat and bone logo, which has like a cleaver. It's literally just meat in
butcher's knife, probably.
Bone. It's a cleaver.
You shut your mouth. It's a butcher's knife.
Cleaver over the word bone and by the N. And then it's got flames coming off the bottom of the car. And the rest of the car is black. It's kind of basic, but it kind of works. I like it. Let's just hope it doesn't turn out to be like the Coca-Cola zero sugar and actually have real flames coming out of it.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
I'm going to give it 3 lugs just because of how basic it is. Don't get me wrong, I like it. It's just basic.
Yeah. I'll keep it at your 3 just because I feel like maybe they could have thrown like a bone.
I was thinking the same thing. I was just not gonna say
throwing a slab of steak on there somewhere or something, you know?
like a rack of ribs or something.
Yeah, that would have been great. Yeah,
I do. Before we move on, I'm gonna say this. I do like the flames that are coming off the exhaust pipe. So like when they downshift and the flames shoot out, it's gonna blend in so well with.
right.
So yep. I'm just saying that.
All right, moving on to Mr. SVG. Not as cool as last week's car, but Yeah. What would you say? Is this
Carl
mostly white?
Carl Edwards.
Yeah. It's like down the side in the middle. It's kind of like a wavy white that opens up to covering the entire quarter panel on the back. But then you got like almost like a violet blue going
Nah,
with
that's more like
like
a
a
royal
lime
blue.
green.
Yeah, that's more like a royal blue.
It kind of looks purple to me. I don't know.
No, to
Maybe,
me, it
maybe
looks like
not
a
down on the
royal blue.
bottom, but like on the roof rail up there, it kind of looks purplish to me.
Nah, it doesn't look like that to me.
Maybe
But
maybe it's just one to be. But then it's got lime green as well, and that foil blue 16. Yeah, buddy.
you know, it'd look even better than that foil blue 16.
It was green.
Right. If it was a foil red 88.
I mean, next season. Gotta wait for that. I want to say this scheme is going to be what he runs next week at Atlanta too. So
I
might see
hope
it
it's
twice.
not a normal scheme. I really want to. I'm jumping ahead because this is more like our normal podcast stuff, but I am so excited to see his schemes. I hope
That
they're not like
88 on the side. Yeah.
I hope they're not like this one. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to give this one. I feel like they could have done more, but I feel like it's still better than most of the other schemes that we see. So I'm going to stick with a 3 on this one.
That's where I was thinking I was gonna file it under a 3 lug solely solely just because it gives me so for any of you older NASCAR fans out there, like '09 Aflac, Carl Edwards. That's where it's similar scheme, not exactly the same. I mean, uh, it's still insurance, but it that's where it just takes me. So
Moving forward to Mr. Chris Busher.
wow, it's the same build submarines car that we see every other week. So for those of you listening, because I said I was going to try to remember the listeners, it's mainly why it's got the RFK swoosh at the bottom, the one I tried to describe earlier. The colors kind of fade in from blue and black. I mean, it's made to look kind of like water.
You say blue and black? It's
Yeah,
like a teal, sir.
isn't teal blue?
No, it's more greenish than blue.
Well, you know what? Don't pick on me because I'm colorblind.
The
Okay,
foil, the number's foil.
the number is foil, but I'm still going to give this a 2 lug because we see it all the time.
I'm gonna disagree with you on it. We do see it all the time, but I actually kind of like it. I'm gonna bump it up to a 3.
Bump it all the way.
But that's enough of that said. We're gonna jump to Mr. Patriotic retiree, soon to be
Mm.
Martin Truex Jr.
Mm. Mm.
What you thinking, me?
It's your turn, homie.
Oh, it is? Okay. Let's see. Yeah, on the hood here you got your royal blue with your stars. On the sides you got, it looks like maybe the same pattern that he has on his normal scheme, but it's in white with like a slight gray shade there to knock them patterns out. But then across the bottom you got your stripes of red that are kind of floating on. And I don't know if I'm just going crazy, but it looks like they got some names in them stripes down there.
They do.
And then
Okay.
obviously the roof rail down to the bottom of the windows is red as well. With your big old Bass Pro Shops tracker logo pretty much taking up the back side of the car. I love this scheme. I go 5-star or lug or whatever 5 you want to give them.
Listen, when I say I love patriotic scheme, This is exactly what I'm talking about. I love that it's got the flag, it's got the stars, it's got names in the flag. It doesn't have just a white background, there's some gray slapped in there. It's got stuff going on. It's a Bass Pro Shops car, which, I mean, you could use other, but you know what I mean? Like, it's got some, like, I will give the 10 some points. It has Winchester, you know, America
I was
guns, America
about to say the only
outdoor.
thing that would make this one better is if it said Winchester on the side of it.
I mean, if they could get a Winchester for this one, oh my God. I'm keeping it 5 lugs. This is definitely one that I really want to buy. It's so nice.
Nah. Pick your jaw up off the floor. We're gonna move on to your boy here, Mr. Christopher Bell.
Wow, it's the Ream scheme.
Looks like
It's
I missed
literally,
keeping some white on the top there and accidentally took it
yeah,
out. It's all right.
it's literally it's a black car with white stripes starting from the front going to the back with a red outline. That's it. I mean, it's got a black 20 on it. It's not that pretty. We've seen it 100 times, and this is coming from me. I mean, do I like the car? Yeah, it's okay. It's not my favorite scheme. I'm gonna go 2 lugs.
I'll agree with you on that one. I would say, as far as black, white, and red car, his Mobile One car was definitely better.
Top tier. I
But
did like his mobile one, but this
I
Ream scheme's just kind of boring,
yeah, I'm gonna
honestly.
keep it at a 2 there. We'll go ahead and move on from him to Mr. Most recent winner in the Cup Series.
Oh, wow.
That gold number 21 that's on the side of this car would have made that Dex Imaging car that went to Victory Lane last week much better. So,
Facts. And
but
for
it
our
is a Wood
listeners,
Brothers car.
if you were wondering what this car looks like, I want you to close your eyes and think back to the 70s when you're sitting there in your grandma's or your mom's house and she's got the race on and you see a Wood Brothers car and it's literally just white block with a red top. Congratulations, you can see this scheme.
Right?
Don't get me wrong, it doesn't have a place in NASCAR 100%. And it's not a bad scheme. I mean, it's lasted this long because it is a good scheme. I mean, it's iconic. It's like running Petty Blue, let's be honest.
Yep.
But
I'm gonna give it 2
uh,
lugs.
I'm gonna keep it 2, just because it is iconic. I mean, we see it all the time, but I don't know. I'm half tempted to give it a 3 just because, but at the same time, so
Now the Dex Imaging version, I would keep it
I
3.
did, yeah,
This
I did like
one's
the decks.
got less stuff going on for it. So,
I mean, it's straight from the 70s.
yep. Speaking of straight from the past, Joe Logano
Wow,
and his yellow
we've
blob with a
seen
red stripe across the bottom.
Yep, it's a yellow car, red stripe across the bottom, has the Pennzoil logo and shell with a red 22. Congratulations, 2 lugs.
Agreed. Moving on. Bubba Wallace.
Okay. Hey,
We have seen this on track
so
before.
we have seen this on track. Can I describe this one,
Go ahead.
or do you want to? It don't matter.
No, go ahead.
All right, so we're gonna take a field trip. Okay, are you guys ready? We're gonna take a field trip in the mind. Close your eyes and think of the opening scene to Top Gun. Okay, you see a gray plane with a blue nose. Right, it's got the American Air Force star and band, or I forget, star and bar insignia on it. I don't know what that's called anymore. I used to know. Uh, and then open your eyes, slam it around a Toyota, and put a 23 on it, and make sure the U.S. Air Force is in white. Congratulations, you got Bubba Wallace's car.
Yeah. Not quite the Was that a
The shark
P-52?
51
P-51. That's right. Yeah, with the teeth on it. Yeah,
with the
that
shark.
would
Yeah.
have been much better. But
Yep. It's not bad. What you giving it?
um, because I'm a U.S. Army veteran, I'll give it a 2 lug.
I'm gonna bump it up because it's I mean it is very bland. It's patriotic, so I gotta give it 3.
I'll let you have it, but I am Army, so
Mm.
Willie B.
Willie B rocking his blue car with white flames with a random red stripe in the front. Doesn't go past the front wheel. Don't know why it's there, either does he. With a red 24. You've seen this scheme before. It's still one of the nicer ones, so I mean it does pay homage to Gordon. So I guess I'll give it a 3 lug.
I'll keep it there, only because I mean, yeah, it's not the same colors as Gordon, but
But the
Liberty,
24th, yeah, the 24th Flames is paying homage to Gordon.
yeah, and then Liberty University's colors are these red, white, and blue colors. So I'll let them have it. Keep that 3 lugs there. Moving on to Mr. Daniel Hemrick and his circle car
Wow.
with all the
It's
flavors
so
on
cool.
there. Literally blue top, like a light blue top with your darker blue 31, and your kind of like faded back and forth between the dark blue and the light blue on the circle logo.
Yeah.
And then behind all that stuff is basically, I'm guessing that's like different flavors of circle.
Yeah. It's
That
like
are
somebody
like the boxes of it and not cans or weird.
well, Circle's not a can. It's like a
Well, no,
little
I'm saying the
thing.
boxes of the flavor thing that you can put onto the
Yeah.
cup.
Yeah.
It looks like it's just the boxes that those refills come in.
I will say the Voices in My Head has one, and you can take the tops of those circle things and put them on like the Bubba cups from Walmart, and it works perfectly.
Well, that doesn't
Just
make
saying.
the scheme any better.
Nope, scheme's still terrible.
What you giving it?
It's your turn, but if you want me to go, it don't
I'll
matter.
give it 2.
I'll stick with your 2, but it's 2 stars starting to run out.
2 lugs about to fall off, you mean?
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right, new scheme, Mr. Michael
Ooh,
McDowell.
with his color tech
Try
starting
and explain this one, sir.
All right, so we got a lava lamp-esque transition, okay? So it starts off with a light blue in the front nose of the car, and as it works past its red 34 and past the color tech logo that's on a white background, it moves to an orange and then to a dark or it's not really a darker red, but about the same red as the 34. And I mean, it's like a lava lamp wave, and then the background, like I said, is white. I like this scheme. I think it's interesting. I think it's going to look a little bit better on track. Um,
Especially under the
it's
lights.
yeah, it's one we've never seen, so I'm going to give it a 4 lug.
I will actually agree with you on the 4. I almost considered trying to bump this one up to a 5, but I feel like,
I think it would have to have a little bit more going on.
yeah, the best part about this is that lava lamp esque, as you described it, dark blue to red with
That and
green,
if you look
yellow, and
right
orange in
above,
between.
what really kind of stopped it for me is if you look right above the back wheel in that quarter panel, it looks like the image is so skewed that like the lava lamp esque like gets lost. It's like it's being sucked away.
Yeah, but it
That's the
almost
only
looks about that same size right in front, or like right below the color part of the color tech. You
yeah,
look right there,
exactly.
it looks about the
It's like
same right
somebody
there.
like had dots going all the way through the color tech, and they're like, "Oh no, that looks bad. So let's just like push them out of the way, and I'll fix it later," and never fixed it. That
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good scheme. I like the scheme. It's just not a 5.
Yep. All right, moving on to Mr. Todd Gilliland, the Long John Silver's car, which I do like because they got that foil 38 on the side there.
And that
But
blue foil shines so nice.
it's mostly yellow with like that weird little blue gray kind of blue going on. The
Yeah.
blob with the white Long John
So
Silver's name.
if you guys watched the race last week, it's literally the car that he decided to take flight in.
Well, it was Michael McDowell that took flight in it, but yeah.
I don't know why I get those two mixed up all the time.
I mean, they are on the
I
same
don't know.
team
I guess.
for this season at least.
Oof.
Next season
But
they
yeah,
won't be.
that little like arch from the door to the bottom, I'm gonna start calling that the Johnson arch because the first place I seen that was on Johnson's Lowe's car.
I would say that arch and the back there too, that white
Yeah.
stripe that goes from the back wheel to the brake light.
To me, it looks like they repurposed an old Lowe's scheme.
Yeah.
Just changed the silver with yellow.
Just for that, I'm giving this one a 3 lug.
I will agree.
Now, jumping forward, Mr. Ryan Priest and his HaasTooling.com car,
This is almost as bad as 50 Shades of Grey.
but nowhere near it.
Huh?
Nowhere near. This has black and red on it, sir.
It has a little black and red.
It has way more black than that 50
point.
Shades of Grey car has.
Yeah, I will say, I will give him bonus points because it does have more going for it. But we're starting to see this one more, which I understand why, because Haas Tooling will be like pretty much the team that Stuart Haas is now.
Yeah.
We'll give him bonus because he does have a foil 41 on his car. For that, I'm gonna stick with 3 lugs though. He's pushing it.
I'll keep it at 3, just because I like the fact that it's not just black blobs that they got going on. They got like some little silver, almost triangle arrows pointing through them.
That's what I was saying. Has a little bit more going for it. I was just saying, like, I wish they would have done a little bit more with the front of the car because a good quarter of the car is just solely silver.
Alrighty, moving on to Mr. John Hunter Nemechek.
Oof.
Technically, I've seen it on track before, but it is pretty.
It is pretty.
Whose turn is it? I don't even remember. Mine.
Yep. Right.
Mostly white car, but every so often there's like a diagonal stripe that's fading through with almost, I don't even know what to call that. It's like a dark blue to
gold. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. But every so often you'll see that stripe diagonally through the car. So basically like right past or right underneath the front light there in front of the front tire, you got a little bitty one, and then through the number up through the window, and then on the back quarter panel you got one. The rest of it's white. The 42 is black and the petty gold, or the Legacy Motor Club gold, I should say. With that big old Mobil 1 logo on the right above the wheel and the red Pegasus. Pretty big on there. I actually like the scheme. I am gonna get. I would say this is almost the best Mobil 1 scheme that's out there, but it's not.
No.
I think that number 50 Mobil 1 scheme was the better one.
The Kabayashi, or is that his name?
Yeah, Kobayashi. But I will give this one a 3.
I'll agree with your 3. That's what I was going to stick to. It's not the best Mobil 1, like we said. The one that I think of the best one is like the one that Kobayashi.
I would say it's between that one and the one that Josh Berry ran that was all gold.
That one was pretty good too, yeah. But it is a good scheme.
Mr. Eric Jones, who has 2 Darlington wins and may upset everybody and get into the playoffs by winning again this weekend.
God, I hope so. Legacy definitely needs a win. Harry Gant throwback Dollar Tree.
Yep. Which seems to be their primary Dollar Tree scheme. They've been flipping back and forth when they run it.
I do like this scheme. This is one of my favorite schemes. It's got green on it. The gold matches well. It makes me think of money. I'm not gonna lie.
Money, 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 money.
I would love to see them put like dollar bills like flying out the back.
Yeah, except the
Top tier.
Dollar Tree is not everything's a dollar anymore.
I know. um, I'm just because we see this a little bit often, like every so often, I guess is what I should have said. I'll give it 3 lugs.
I'll stick it with 3. I do
It's
like the fact that they change the quarter panel sponsor every time they run it, though.
yeah.
All right, Tyler Reddick. Now, something you can't see on this scheme here is on the hood. You got 3 guys. You got Mr. Michael Jordan, you got Tiger Woods, and I don't remember who the third one is. But there's 3 people on the hood that'll be running through this. The only thing I don't like is I want to say the hood is red, but it's like the only red part of the car.
Ew.
But I mean the side doesn't look too bad. It's mostly blue with some yellow accents going on, and then you got your upper deck logo.
It makes me think
on
of
the
the
door
90s,
there.
like those 90s like windbreaker jackets.
Yeah, well, supposedly what this company is like a
They're a
card
card
collector company.
Yeah. I used to collect their baseball cards way back in the day, homie.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So
I
just
mean,
because of the color palette that they used on this one, I'm throwing it down to a 2.
I if the hood is gonna be red, I agree. Now, if it's that orange that the 45 is, or I don't know. I could see where that could tie in, but if it's just like a straight up like 23XI red, no, homie, don't play that. I'd say 2.
All right, well, keep it at 2 for now. Ready for some ice
Yep.
cream? You scream, we all scream for
Ice
ice cream.
cream. Lieutenant Dan. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I like this car. It is simplistic, but in a good way. Okay, so for our listeners, uh, from the window up, except for like 2 little lines in the front of the window, it is white. And from that down, it's the drumstick box color blue.
But if you look
And
close, they got patterns in that blue.
I can't see that on my computer, but I'm sure it's the same like drumstick patterns. Anyway,
Probably, yeah.
starting from right underneath the light. No, you got one. Yeah, right at the light actually. You've got like little white, I don't even know what you call them. Like icicles, I guess is what you call them, shooting up towards the window. Um It's a nice scheme, the red 47, and then you've got some, pictures of the ice cream cones that are drumsticks, chocolate covered with nuts on a cone. It's a nice scheme. I really do like the scheme. Kroger has some pretty good schemes.
They have,
Um,
yeah.
is it a NOS scheme? No, but it is not bad. I give it a 4 lug.
I think the thing that I like the most about this one, besides the big old ice cream cones that I want to eat off the side of the door there,
Yeah,
is the way that they altered the drumstick logo and
to go
wrapped it
around the
over the
tire.
rear
I didn't even
tire.
think about that one, yeah.
That
I
I
didn't
think
even
is pretty awesome.
That is the only thing that I could see that would bump this scheme, if you were to change one thing about it and make it a 5 lug, slap a foil red on the 47. That's it. If they did that, 5 lug all day.
Well, just hopefully nobody gets hungry for ice cream because they want to cool down during the race and tries to wreck Stenhouse. Moving on to Mr. Alex Bowman, his normal ally scheme there. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
it's
Good
his
luck
purple,
describing this.
pink, and slightly little blobs of teal going on. I like scheme. I mean, it's nice, but getting kind of tired of seeing it, so I'm gonna drop it to a 3.
I'll keep it at a 3. It's definitely not Nashville Ally scheme, but it's his normal one. They look good on track, but other than that, I'm getting tired of seeing it.
It would look much better on track if that pink that they had in there was that hot pink that they used at Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Haley in a 51. North Carolina. Yeah.
FOP Lodge.
Fraternal Order
So
of Police, Lodge 9, I think is
yeah,
what it is.
yeah, that's what it is. The only reason I know that is because we have an Oklahoma chapter where I work. I mean, it's got a gold line down the bottom where like the exhaust and stuff is. Of course, with Justin Haley, his rims are gold. Uh, I do like this one a little bit because above that you've got a darker blue, like kind of line cutting up the lighter blue. That's the majority of it. You've got your white 51 with a gold outline, and then of course you got the FOP badge and a QR code that like for more information. It's a nice scheme. Is it the best scheme? No. I'm gonna give it a I'll give it a 4 lug just because it's like a paternal order of the police.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if you noticed it, but like there's those 2 darker blue stripes going around the bottom right above that
yeah.
gold stripe. But if you look just in front of the number and just behind the number, it looks like there's buildings that
Is that
come
what
up.
that is? I thought it was just 2 different stripes.
It looks like buildings.
Like,
Like,
it could be. I just thought it was different stripes. That's why I kinda just said that they're darker blue breaking up the lighter blue.
because if you look at the specifically the one that's like kind of attached to the FOP badge there,
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it, but it's like the front side of it goes straight up, but then it goes in a little bit and comes up. But
Yeah.
then on the roof part, it looks like there's 2 little lines that come up that look like they would be a tennis or something.
I don't know.
I like it. I'll keep it at a 4.
Yes, sir.
Ty Gibbs. Surprise,
Wow. It's
surprise.
the same Monster Energy car he races every week.
2 lugs.
I'll give it 2 just because I'm getting tired of seeing it. I mean, it's not hard to get a black car and a Monster logo to look good. I
Yeah.
mean, that's
I think that's
that's
the only thing keeping it at a 2 is the fact that it's a monster logo.
yeah, I mean, like, it looks like they're can. Now, the di sorry, I didn't mean to
Oh, well, I'll go back. Hold on. Uh,
uh-oh.
there we
Don't
go.
look, don't look, don't look. Uh, I was gonna say, I don't know about any grocery stores near you, but near me, they have a Monster display that's got a Toyota that has the Monster logo that's way better than that one. It's like last year's Camry, so I don't know if they just got it out late or what, but, like, it has, like, green stripes going down it with gray accents, and it looks 10 times better. If he would run that scheme, I think it'd be 10 times better. It makes you think of, like, Kurt Busch's schemes for Monster. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Like, where it wasn't just a black car with a Monster logo slapped on it, it had, like, accent lines and green lines coming, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just what I was gonna say. If he would run that scheme, I would like it 10 times better, but
All right. Moving on to Mr. Timmy Hill.
I love this scheme. It's simplistic, but I love it.
So when I saw this the reason why I didn't add this as a new sponsor on our list is because I thought it was a typo when it just said W on the entry list. But apparently that's the product name. It's just W.
Yeah, it's a sports drink made at by Walmart, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. But it's
But,
mostly white car. Got like a little red stripe right under the headlight that goes up and meets at the door, but it thins out as it gets higher. And there's a little blue stripe underneath that goes just behind the front tire and kind of follows it to the window. But then basically the window up is blue. You got your W bottles down there on the back quarter panel. It's actually kind of a nice car. I mean, it's simple, but it gets the job done for sure.
It gives me that graffiti vibe, you know what I mean? With the W logo.
Yeah. I'm going to give it 3 lugs.
I can see 3 lugs just because it is kind of simplistic. I wish they would have fed off the W logo, like with the graffiti vibes and like, you know, added some more details to it. But I like it. It looks pretty neat.
Moving on to Mr. Zane Smith, who currently does not have a ride for 2025.
Rip. It's literally blue and orange with a couple white
Beautiful.
lines that we see every other week. I'm gonna give it 2 lugs. And you're gonna bump it up to 3 because it's orange.
Correct. How did you know?
I think we've had this transaction at least once.
Yeah, maybe more than once. Who knows? Who's keeping track? Probably Braden.
Probably Braden.
New car alert.
This
Mr.
is
Carson Hocevar.
Carson Hocevar. The top, starting at the headlight, kind of working up the hood, towards the window. Not really at the quarter panel, but more the hood is white or is blue. I'm sorry, blue all the way up to the back of the window. The quarter panel is mainly white. It's got the blue 77, and it's got like an orange. I don't know how else to describe it besides like a road, an orange road that kind of curves right at the bottom of the 77s and works its way back to the back quarter panel. And then, of course, the bottom behind the exhaust is all blue, and including the back of the quarter panel. It gives me Larson vibes, but instead of red, like add blue or orange. Oh my gosh. Of course, you got
Colors.
the yeah, I know. You got the St. Francis, the Bon. I don't even know how to say that word.
Bon Secours, maybe?
Course, yeah, St. Francis Health Systems, and then you've got the Swamp Rabbits logos. I don't like that they kind of cut off the Swamp Rabbits. I mean, it looks like he's driving a car, which would make sense for the road, but you know, there's kind of a tire right in the middle of his car. I don't think that
Maybe it's
makes
a
sense.
unicycle car.
Maybe, but I don't know. I don't see it. I'm gonna give this 3 just because it's a new scheme. If I seen it again, it would most likely be a 2, but it's gonna be a 3 lug today.
Um, I'm gonna disagree with you on this one. I actually kind of like the way it looks. Now,
It's an orange. It's got orange on it.
it does got orange, and I feel like if they would have used that Swamp Rabbits logo a little better, it would have bumped it up. I'm gonna keep it at a 3, but I was real close to pushing it to a 4. Real close.
See, that's what kept me at a 3 because I was like, if they would have moved the Swamp Rabbits where it looked like he was going on that road-esque line, you know what I mean? That's the only thing that I can see when I look at that because it's like real wide over by the front and then it thins out like you're drawing a road going in a distance, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Last and finally, not least, Daniel Suarez.
Uh,
So we've seen this one a few times with this freeway insurance car. I wouldn't say it's mostly blue or white. It's kind of like even on those 2 colors there. They kind of divide up the car in different blobs. But then you got some green accents that kind of outline some of the blue to white areas. It's a pretty car. We've seen it. Seen it quite often, actually. But because of the foil number and because it does kind of pop out on track, I'm gonna put it at a 3 lug.
I was thinking 3 because we have seen it quite often. I wouldn't say it's his primary scheme, but it's one of the ones that gets rotated fairly often.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's blue and white. I mean, with the green accents breaking it up. If you've seen the fairway logo, basically throw that on a car, like the little circle. I do like the green foil numbers. That added some bonus points. It definitely pops on track. Um, but yeah, 3, I think, does it fairly. So,
That bees it.
sir, that be all of our schemes. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and you need to be like our VIP Braden and hit that subscribe button. And if you're tuning in and you've never watched the show before, we go live on Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube. We're on live every Monday. Some shows are a little different because we have jobs that actually take priority because they pay money.
Yeah. We still try to get you guys the Monday live episode, this commentary that technically releases Thursday morning, but we record it Wednesday evening. And then the paint scheme video without commentary that gets released, and the weekend winners, which Dally takes care of. We try to crank all that stuff out, but sometimes life gets in the way and messes up those plans
Definitely.
for us.
This week has been absolutely insane for both of us.
Yeah.
So just kind of a quick update because I didn't think about it until now. We do a segment which we didn't get to do it this last weekend or this last week. We do a segment called S Cubed, and that is sponsored by Happy Hour Racing, which is a F1 and NASCAR apparel.
We get this pulled up. Wasn't
Anyway, it
planning
is
on
a
going back to
NASCAR
this scene.
apparel. Yeah. Yeah, there's the logo. Happyhourracing.com. I ordered from there. I got this shirt. Of course, if you watch the show long enough, him and I are both huge Johnson fans. Um, don't even point it out, okay? Don't even point it out. I know you've got it. Everybody knows you've got it. I'm still bitter. Um,
I don't know
uh,
what you could be speaking of.
oh yeah, uh, I lost track of where I was. Oh, I got this awesome 7-time champion shirt from the Hall. It was originally, sold in the Hall of Fame. Uh, and it came. I ordered it, and in 2 weeks I had it here, and it had, of course, it still had its tags, everything. So it's not used stuff that they're selling. It's brand new stuff. You don't have to worry about damaging or anything because this shirt was wrapped in, like, I kid you not, 4 sheets of bubble wrap, and I'm like, this is a shirt. I don't think it's
Save some of that bubble wrap for my kids, please.
definitely. I got you covered. But yeah, if you guys want to go check them out on your first order, you will get 10% off and free shipping. And be sure to use the code RHPD to support us because I promise everything that we get off of this podcast goes right back into it. Um, Voodoo has talked to me. His next goal is to get a stream deck, and my next goal is to get an actual desktop. That way I have better processing power. Because right now I'm just on a laptop. And if you're seeing the little like jitterbug motion that is on my end, I don't know if it's on his. I'm sorry. I mean, that's just where we're at as far as processing power and all that good jazz. But hopefully, pretty soon we'll start, making a little bit of money off of it, being able to push it back right into this uh, podcast. I'm super happy with where it's come. We've got to get around and film our 50 subscriber bonus episode. We have not done that yet.
We'll get
uh,
it. We promise.
yeah, we promise it's coming. Uh, our VIP Braden, if you don't know who we're talking about, join us in the live. You'll see him in chat. He come up with a really good idea that we're going to be reacting to some of NASCAR's like most violent crashes ever. It's going to be fun. Uh, if you guys have any suggestions, feel free to put those in the comments. You can also hit us up on TikTok, Instagram, and X. We have all of those. We post semi regularly on all those. As long as I'm not busy, I try to keep it up. Uh, like I said, you get these every Thursday if there's a race, and you get a new live episode every Monday. So,
We're trying to crank out some stuff for you guys, but
plus, here and there you might get some bonus content depending on what we're doing. Like here, not too long ago, beginning of July, we got to go to Nashville. We got a couple bonus episodes. Um, Again, I'm gonna apologize again if you watch those and you're like, "This is boring." It was also like 3 in the morning when we were recording those, so congratulations.
yeah,
Uh, yeah, we plan hopefully, we've got something starting to be in the works for next season. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but be sure to stick around. We do plan to do off season since playoffs is running around, and it'll be right around the corner before NASCAR is over, and we are sad. But don't worry, because I'm sure we will find stuff to do to keep you guys in the loop. Because just because the season starts or stops doesn't mean the silly season stops. Because silly season continually goes on,
words.
and
Words are hard.
yeah. So
Um, in the description of this video and now in our lives, we got our new merch store that's up finally.
yeah,
So make sure you check that stuff out. I think as of right now, there's still at least a few more days of 25% off of the store. You probably want to go jump onto that, click on that link, and I'm pretty sure it's automatically applied there. There's shirts for men, women, hoodies, tie-dye shirts, cups, stickers, bottles. It's all kind of
I'm
stuff on
gonna. I've already told the voices in my head that I'm gonna buy probably like 30 of those stickers and just start slapping them around town.
there. Hey, nothing wrong with
Just
that.
random places. But yeah, for real, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch. Like we said, if you have any suggestions to make the show better, we are always open to supportive comments, and just suggestions. We are a very small podcast, but it is starting to pick up steam. Like just in the past month, we've gained what 10? Because we just hit our 50 not like a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago, and we're already at what
Um,
54.
yeah, we're at 54 right now. I wonder if it'll tell us how many subs that we got in the last 28 days. I think it does.
Should. Um, but yeah, it, I can't describe. So, like, if you guys knew or have been around, I started the podcast a couple years ago, and it was just me talking about what happened in each race, and it was awful and boring and stupid. And at the beginning of the season, I asked Voodoo to, kind of help me out and see if he would be interested. And he said he would love to help, and that's where it has blossomed from here. And I definitely appreciate everything that he does because he's the one that come up with all the graphics. He helped sort out the logo. He's gotten all the segments. I mean, he is literally the heart of the show. I just brought him an idea and said, "Do it," and he said, "Okay."
Yeah.
uh, it's definitely been fun. Uh, he's taught me a whole lot since we've been doing this. But go ahead and show him some love because he does actually stream on his own. I say I do, but then I turn around and don't stream for a month because I get busy. But be sure to check him out on Twitch, Voodoo48. Uh, so yeah, be sure to show him some love because obviously you like NASCAR and he streams a lot of Heat 5 and just different NASCAR content. So, but do you have
And
anything else to add?
it's 7 that we've got in the last 28 days. So
Yeah, so I mean, we've been doing this since the start of the season, so it's picked up quite a bit since the beginning. I remember us hitting our 15 subscriber and we're like, "Oh yeah, we're really making it." And then looking back now, I'm like, it just I don't know, it really makes me happy because like then it's definitely opened my eyes. I've learned so much about NASCAR since we started this. I don't know if you've had the same like thoughts. You're like, I never knew like point structures and different strategies. Like, oh, this week they're running tires. Like, I really just watched to watch. Uh, and I really didn't think that anybody around here watched. I thought I was just kind of by myself. But when I go out in public and I'm wearing my RHPD hat, or my wife has her shirt on, or like I'm wearing just like my Johnson shirts, or just my NASCAR memorabilia, I've had more people stop me in the last 3 months than I have my entire life. "Oh, you watch NASCAR, da, da, da," and then I can sit here and have a full-blown conversation of, "Hey, man, I have a podcast that we do every Monday night, you should check us out, da, 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 da." It is so cool, like, especially going to NASCAR events, you know what I mean? Like, we got to go to Nashville, and I got to go to Texas, and you got to go to Dega, and just get to meet people and talk to them about some of, like, stuff that they've been through and stuff. I would love to eventually get to where we could have, like, fan interviews.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, not so much fan, like, for the show, but, like, NASCAR fans. Like, maybe next season, I might, start asking around in crowds, like, if we're waiting for autographs or something, be like, "Hey, do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions? I do a podcast," whatever.
Be
You
kind of
know what I
nice
mean?
to squeeze some drivers in.
Definitely, huh, I know we talked about it, but I priced press passes for some of the races, and, it don't look like it's in the budget for a minute.
I wouldn't expect it to be.
Right?
But yeah.
It was cool, some of the autograph sessions we did get to ask some questions, like, I got to hit up Martin Truex Jr. to see what he was thinking before I found out he was gonna retire, you know what I mean? Uh And, looking back, some of the answers that I asked, or some of the questions I asked him, and the answers he gave me kinda make sense, because I asked him if he had any big plans for next year and all this, and he was like, "I don't know, we'll see." You know what I mean? I get that they can't disclose anything and all that, but, I mean, it makes sense now, Or like, what was it that we asked, who was it? Priest? Because
It
I know
was
you
Priest and Briscoe.
yeah, we asked them if they had any plans, and both of them told us. I think Priest, if I remember right, told me that he had plans and I'd find out real soon. But other than that, he
Yeah.
couldn't tell me. That was before he was announced that he was leaving, wasn't it? Or
Yeah,
before
that wasn't announced when we went.
yeah. But I mean, like, just the different interactions that I've been able to have, what I mean? Just in this year alone, like, before 22, I had never been to a race, and I dang sure didn't ever get an autograph from a well, I did, but I was way little and it didn't count. You know what I mean? Uh, but I mean, just looking back at this year, and I know I'm kind of dragging on and getting nostalgic for this year. It's just I'm sorry. I'm just super happy with the way that this podcast is, like, led, and I mean, y and I'll be honest, you're a huge key point to that. I mean, I just had an idea and you made it happen.
Well, in that case, I quit. No, I'm just kidding.
And with that being said, here's my resignation. No. I'm looking forward to, like, hopefully, like, to year 5 and 6 and being like, "Oh, this year we've got our brand on a car, we're a major sponsor for this Xfinity driver." Tony Breidinger has let us, sponsor her car,
Yeah.
and you can order the diecast through this, you know what I mean? Like, that would be so cool to me.
One
Uh,
day, sir. One day we will get there.
One day, well, having who knows, even doing, like, a collaborative video with freaking Eric Estep or something like that. That would be so cool to me. You know, I'm, even making enough money to buy 2 tickets so me and you can go to Texas, you know what I mean, or Dega. That would just, like, I already feel so proud of what this is, but, like, I think I would have to, like, have the stubs framed and everything, like,
Yeah.
musicians have their gold records on the wall, I have our first tickets, okay?
Well, with that being said, we need your help out there to get us to that point. I know a
Definitely.
bunch of you returning viewers aren't subscribed to us yet. So hit that doggone subscribe button down there.
Oh, yeah.
Help us out.
But with that being said, I guess we need to end this video here. I hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much. Do you have anything to add before I count us out?
No, just hopefully we can catch you Monday evening in chat so you can contribute to the show and we can conversate with you and keep that show rolling. Thank you to the 54 people that are subscribed to us, and we're hoping for many more in the future.
Definitely. And who knows, next year maybe Trash Can will not lead our fantasy league.
Yeah, he's pretty much got it this time around, but
Yeah. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for riding shotgun with us on this episode of Raise Hail, Praise Dale. The checkered flag might fall, but the memories never will. We appreciate you so much, and this is RHPD signing off.